So let me just make sure. Okay, great. So to start off, we are going to first talk about just myself, Janet, Alex, and John. We're all on the call right now, and we're going to be the ones running the program for the week. So just kind of getting you guys introduced into who we are, so you're kind of familiar with what we're like. And then second part is definitely try. So this is going to be like all my recommendations of the best of Berkeley, things that once you get here, you should definitely try. And then 3 is going to be like the inside scoop. So some of like the more like secret things that, you know, just having gone to Berkeley, I'm aware of, but they don't necessarily tell you going in. So wanting to kind of give you the inside scoop and get you the edge. And then 4 is going to be a fun one where we're going to talk about our Ragrets, and hopefully that you won't have the same Ragrets. So these are going to be just specific stories about things that we really messed up on when we were freshmen, or just in college, and wanting to give you guys like awareness so you don't do the same thing. And then 5th, we're going to get to kind of create our bucket list together. So just after you've heard these different things, you can write your own bucket list or create your own bucket list on what you want to try. And then we'll share it, you know, if you want to, with each other, just so we get some ideas flowing and get you guys excited to come to Cal. So just to start off about us. So these are actually 4 little icons from the slides template, but they actually look like us. So that's an exciting thing. So we're going to start off. I'll just introduce myself. So I'm Hannah. I was a poli-sci and legal studies double major at Berkeley. I graduated in 2018. I'm from Seattle. Woohoo, go Rain. Yes. Go Seahawks. And my favorite snack is turtle chips. So I don't know if you guys have heard of turtle chips, but they're like these Korean snacks that have like many layers, like they're corn chips, and you can get them. I think you can get them at like Costco now, which is really awesome because turtle chips are honestly amazing. So my Myers-Briggs, just fun fact, is ENTJ, or the commander. But people say I'm pretty chill for an ENTJ, so it's okay. And then my memorable moment, just to kind of share something, you know, a crazy story, is I took my LSAT recently, and I thought I was totally prepared, and I was like ready to go. I was like sitting down. It was online. I was like sitting down, ready, like taking deep breaths. And then I realized like 8 minutes before the test started that I didn't get number 2 pencils. I only had mechanical pencils, and you can only use number 2. So I like literally ran to Safeway, and then I bought like 2 teeny tiny pencils from like a protractor set, and then we were good to go. So it was fine, but that was literally like probably the most horrifying moment of my life. But yeah, and then you can see like the icons. We added icons for each of our profiles just to kind of give an overview. So I really love plants, so that's one thing. And then I really like music, so I play different instruments. And then the law gavel is, you know, obviously pre-law. So that's me. And then let's go on to Alex.
Hi guys, I'm Alex. I am a recent graduate from Berkeley. I majored in EECS and I minored in English. I am from San Diego, and yeah, so go Padres, I guess, but that's kind of depressing because it's the worst team in baseball. Yeah, my favorite snack, I don't know why. I'm not a big snacker, but something about goldfish, it just kills me. They're really plain and no one else likes them, but I don't know, they're my Achilles heel. I'm also an ENTJ. Yeah. And oh my gosh, I can't believe you included this memorable moment. But this was me trying to avoid the freshman 15. I wanted to eat healthy. And one thing I heard about our cross country team in high school, which was really good, was that some of the people on the team did teaspoons of olive oil to get their essential fats for the day or the week, you know. So I just tried. I got a little plastic cup from the dining hall. I just did the little olive oil dispenser they have there, and you know, braced myself and went bottoms up, and instantly I felt my throat coat, my stomach turn inside out, and felt terrible just as my whole floor happened to come down. And I tried to wave hi while I was like, you know, trying to play it cool. But yeah, so moral of the story, don't listen to this presentation so you can avoid things like that.
Thank you, Alex, for sharing. All right, next we're gonna go to John.
Hi, I'm John. I'm an engineering physics major, and I got a minor in CS. I also graduated with Alex in 2020. I'm from Sunnyvale, California, so Bay Area, Silicon Valley. Just grew up there. I like eating a lot of fruits, and I almost always eat an apple a day. So definitely have to say that's my favorite snack. And then I'm also an ENTJ, but unlike Hannah, I'm definitely not chill as her. Or maybe, we'll see. From a memorable moment, so if you guys are moving into the dorms, you get this like micro chill, which is like a microwave with a freezer. And then so I had this like Coke on a hot day, and I was like, well, it's too lukewarm. It's like room temperature, but I want to like cool it up really quickly. So I decided to just put it in the freezer, with the, when you like take the wet paper towel and you wrap it around so it cools really quickly. But I just forgot about it. I like went to I don't know, I went to class or something, or I just spent too many hours watching YouTube online or something. And then I had forgotten about it for like, maybe it was like 3 days, or maybe it was like 3 weeks even, because we never use our freezer for anything. And then I opened the freezer one day because we were trying to be adults and trying to clean our room. So I was like, okay, well, we haven't cleaned the freezer before. So I opened it up, and basically it had expanded, and all the Coke had like come out of the bottle, and then the freezer like creates ice. So all the ice around it was like Coke colored, and it was actually impossible to remove. And it was just like, oh, I guess we'll just have to return it like this, because it was just frozen Coke all over our freezer. So that's don't forget where you place your things, because that was really, luckily it didn't explode in the freezer. Luckily it just broke, so all of it like gushed out, and it didn't just boom. But yeah, that's my memorable moment from freshman year in the dorms.
Thanks, John. And then lastly, we'll go to Janet.
Hi, everyone. My name is Janet. I was a business major. I guess it says Haas, but Haas is not a major. But yeah, I studied business, was in Haas. So if any of you guys are pre-business and have different questions, happy to answer or help later on. You can just ping me or follow me on or message me on Instagram. I graduated in 2017. I'm from Maryland, so made that move from the East Coast out here to California. I'm not sure where everyone is calling in from, but hopefully, if you have questions about moving to Berkeley, even if you're not out of state, happy to help with that as well. And it's funny because Hannah made the slide for me. So my favorite snack is everything. I love to eat. I love food. I was just eating chocolate as this call started and sharing about how I finished this bar in less than a week and felt a little bit embarrassed. I'm an ESFJ for Myers-Briggs. If you guys are familiar, it's like the bossy with a smile person. And a memorable moment is that once when I was walking in San Francisco, a pigeon flew into my stomach, and it was the worst experience ever. So I also have many stories of pigeons being my arch nemesis, which I will share probably later on this week through our Crushing It series. And I don't know what these icons, is that a mushroom?
Mushrooms is your favorite food, right?
Oh yeah, I like mushrooms.
And you like
and then I like cafes, and I like to talk. That's true. So that's me. Nice to meet everyone.
All right. So hope you guys, got a little better picture of who we are, just as we're going to be, hanging out this week, hopefully. So next, we're going to go to Definitely Try. So this is just different recommendations that we have from Berkeley. So wanting to show you guys some of that stuff. So most importantly, boba. What's the best boba? There's literally like 20 boba places in Berkeley. So don't want you guys to like waste your money on the ones that are lame. So here's the best one, in my opinion, of course. Take it with a grain of salt. Everyone's going to disagree. But Utah. So Utah is a little, like kind of a bit farther from campus. So like a few blocks down. I'm really bad at directions. So I'm not going to say exactly where it is, but I think it's down Bancroft. Past the RSF. Utah's really great. Their specialty is something called the Bomberman, which is like milk and like this caramelized boba that's really, really good. But I definitely recommend 50% sugar unless you really just want to drink sugar, and that's totally fine. That's up to you. Happy Lemon is a lot of people's favorite. This one's in downtown Berkeley, so a little bit farther, but totally worth the walk. And you get to burn off the calories like as you're walking back. It's like Well, maybe it'll burn like a fifth of it off, but that's okay. Mango matcha is the most popular drink for a reason. It's amazing. Anytime I want to like splurge or just like to have a treat, Happy Lemon Mango Matcha, good to go. It's best thing. Asha is also in downtown Berkeley. It is like legitimate tea. So a lot of places boba is going to be more like milky, but Asha is where you're going to get real tea. And so definitely recommend it. They also have fruit purees that a lot of people like. So yeah, and it's quite affordable for what you get, I feel like. So Alley Kitchens, that's a new one, and a lot of people haven't tried it, but it's really special because their bobas are like mochi balls, and they're really chewy. So make sure your jaws are strong to chew that boba. And it's on Telegraph, so it's super close to campus. You're probably gonna pass it by every day. So definitely recommend to at least try it once, and their tea is quite legit too. So those are in my opinion, some of the best bobas. Yeah, well, on the other side, just everything's okay, but just never go to Boba Ninja. It's just not good. So, and don't get boba from like Lotus House. It's just no, just stick with these. All right, so the next one is cafes. So, if you get sick of the libraries, you're just gonna want to try some cafes. So Cafe Strata is a really popular one on Bancroft and College, if I remember correctly. So it's near the law school, near Haas. Just basically go upward, up the hill, and then there's like an outdoor cafe. You just want to be careful not to leave your your possessions out in the open without protection, because people will steal it. But it's okay. It's nice. So just sit there and then protect your stuff, and you're gonna have a great time. Artis is also a little bit farther from campus, but the bus system is great, so you can take the bus, go there. It's really nice. It's like kind of like a not familiar spot for a lot of people, so you're probably not gonna like have a bunch of like students around you if you want to get away a little bit. Phil's Coffee is a lot of people's favorites. It's like a Berkeley classic. You have to at least try it once. This one is also down College if you take the bus next to Safeway. And there's not a lot of seating spots inside, but if you get a spot, definitely recommend sitting and having a really nice coffee. Their coffee is really, really good. So definitely recommend. Then 1951 is closer to campus. I think of these, it's pretty close. It's inside a church called First Presbyterian, and it's actually employs refugees. So they're not necessarily, I don't know if they're open right now, but definitely recommend trying. There's a lot of nice seating within the church as well. You can go to the church and sit in those areas. So yeah, 1951, their iced mochas, highly recommend, delicious. So those are cafes. And then this is just food in general. It's really hard to pick, but here's just like a big list of foods. Asian Ghetto is a location that people like. It's like a colloquial term for this little like area across from like Unit 1 down Durant, and there's just all these different restaurants, but be sure to bring cash because a lot of them only take cash. Sliver is Berkeley classic. It's pizza that they only ever make one type of pizza every day, which sounds weird, and it's vegetarian, which also sounds like it's going to be bad, but it's really, really good. So definitely recommend that. Taco Sinaloa, a lot of people like if you're looking for Mexican food, but if you're like from San Diego, you might be disappointed. So like it's like, it's as good as it gets. Marugame is a udon place. I think it's in downtown. Is it in downtown Berkeley, Janet? Yes. So it's
near the new psych building, or attached to it.
Here you have it. And then Famous Bao, I'm not sure if it's permanently closed or not, but if it's not, it's really, really good. Then Super Dupers for burgers. And then one thing you'll learn about Berkeley is like every year the restaurants are going to close, reopen. Like there's going to be new restaurants all the time. So it's kind of hard to keep track of everything, but you're going to get a taste of like everything throughout your 4 years. So that's the restaurants. And then study spots. So there's obviously a lot of different places to study, but these are some of our favorites. So East Asian Library is one in front of the Glade, so like a big grassy area. I love East Asian Library because it's super quiet, it's super clean, and you have individual little cubicles with outlets, so like you really like get in the zone. Haas Rooftop Garden is like a nice outdoor spot if you ever want to go there. Cafe Zeb is in the law school, and this is a really nice cafe, so it's like a little bit, it's like a little cafe kind of within the school. And then the music library, a lot of people like that spot because you also get like your little compartments. So these are some of like the little known spots for you to try if you want to study. All right, so moving on to the inside scoop. So this is kind of the stuff that they're not necessarily going to tell you during like, tours or whatever. But I feel like it's important to know. So yeah. First thing, avoid 8 a.m. classes. So, you think like, what, high school, I had 7 a.m.s, like, I can handle this, it's no big deal. But no, college is different, and you're not going to want to get up at like 7:45 to walk to your class, especially if it's like super far from your dorm. And like, you're probably going to be staying up later just to like either study or hang out with your friends. So like, I always really liked 9 a.m. because 10 a.m. was a little late for me, but whatever it is, just try as best as you can to avoid 8 a.m. classes as much as you can. If you can't, then it's like, try your best. But yeah, definitely that's a tip. Next thing is, don't cram your lectures or webcasts. So a lot of classes are webcasted, which means that they're recorded. I'm not sure if this is the case with now the remote learning process. They might not be, but eventually, once things die down and go back to normal, they will be webcasted. So they post them on like a website for you to watch at your own time. And a lot of people make the mistake of like, oh, what? It's fine. I'll just wait until like the last 2 weeks of class and then I'll watch them all. No, like that's not a good situation. Like, you're going to feel miserable and it's just terrible. So I would definitely recommend trying as much as you can to keep up with the schedule. So like watching 1 per week or like 2 every 2 weeks or something like that, because it does get quite painful near the end. Stay alert when walking. So Berkeley is obviously known to not be the safest place in the world. So definitely don't walk with headphones on or earbuds in. There are people who are going to steal things from you, like right out of your hand in broad daylight. And so just be careful. I have not ever had a situation where, well, I got my car broken into, but that was later. But I never got anybody like taking stuff from me because I was always trying to be really alert or walk with friends. So just, yeah, make sure that you don't, let down your guard or like hold your laptop as you're walking, or just have a loose grip on your things. So just, yeah, be careful. This is another one. I don't know why people don't tell you this, but only join clubs that you're actually interested in and you actually want to put time in, because they might say like, you know what, you're going to get so much like networking and experience and like, all that stuff. And like, you might get a little bit of that, but for the most part, a lot of clubs, especially the good ones, are really high commitment, high time commitment, high effort commitment, high social commitment, and it's just not worth it in the long run unless you're actually interested in it. So definitely just, feel free to try different things, like go to a couple of meetings or whatever it might be, but just don't fall into the trap that like every club is super important. Everyone's in a bunch of clubs. You got to be in the club, be on the council to like get far in your life. It's, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter as much. So just, that's one thing. And then this one is just a fun one. So Student Tech Services, STS, is a on-campus like kind of company that hires a lot of students. Definitely recommend getting a job there if you can, because they pay really well and their hours are flexible, and it's just really, it's like really good experience. So a lot of my friends have done it. I was part of STS. And so definitely recommend, if you can get any job, like get this job, because oh, so what's the job description? So they have a bunch of different roles. So they have marketing roles, they have like IT roles. The ones that most people get hired into initially is called Student Tech Consultants, STCs. And these are just like entry level IT. So you don't have to have any experience basically. And they're gonna teach you how to do like troubleshooting, and you go to people's like dorm rooms, or you have office hours and people come to you and ask you questions and stuff, and then you can branch out from there into like security or into like network engineering. And they have a lot of jobs, so definitely like apply as soon as they open up the applications, and even get some like letters of recommendation if you can from people who were part of it. So you can find information on their website, so Student Tech Services, or Facebook. They have a Facebook as well where they feature students. So definitely recommend that. Yeah, if you can. So great questions though. Yeah, keep, if you want to ask questions, feel free to keep asking them in the chat, and I can just answer as we go along. Okay, so this is no regrets. What we wish we knew freshman year. Want to give you guys, now that we're like older and like we went through a lot of struggles that we probably didn't have to go through. Wanted to share some of our stories. So we're gonna start again with Janet. Janet can share her no regrets story.
Yeah, so I think one mistake that I made a lot freshman year, and I feel really embarrassed to say a lot because it happened many, many times, is that I would go take a shower and I'd come out in my towel and I would realize I forgot the keys to my dorm room. And this is really painful because your dorm rooms, when you guys get to the dorms, or if you do in the spring, they automatically lock when they close. So there's many, many times I found myself just standing outside in the hallway, just in a towel, not knowing what to do. And especially if you end up in unit 3, to get someone to open your door, you have to like go all the way down and then go to where the dining hall is to get someone to open it. But thankfully, both times I just frantically called both my roommates because I was in a triple until one of them picked up and came back to get me. But yes, happened more than once and more than twice.
Yeah, I got locked out from unit 1. And my RA, I don't know if she existed, honestly, because she never she never picked up our phone. She never answered her text. So I spent I think a cumulative 4 hours on the floor of the door outside my dorm because my roommate was out too. So question from Ridvik, I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Can we sign up for 5 clubs, and then if we don't like 2 to 3 of them, drop in afterwards? Yes, I think you can. It depends on the club too, because some clubs to even get in, you need to rush or do a lot of these things. But yeah, you will get emails, you'll get info, but you can also unsubscribe from those. Usually clubs will have info sessions or just different things like that. And then yeah, so that's something. But I think you can almost always quit a club. I don't think there's ever, it's not like you're signing your life like a contract or something. So you can quit if you don't end up liking it. So yeah, great question. Next one is Alex.
Yeah. So I had an early class my first semester, and the dining hall, I was in unit 3, and the unit 3 dining hall doesn't open until 10 a.m. So I had to get kind of creative with trying to make breakfast. And what I tried was microwaving eggs. Turns out there is a way to microwave eggs actually, but it's not, as it turns out, putting it on a paper plate and putting it in the microwave. So long story short, it was burnt on the outside and raw on the inside and terrible all around. So and that's for $3 an egg, which is from the student store, which is really not worth it. So I think moral of the story is get your morning routine down, especially if you're not going to the dining hall to eat, and try to figure out how to hack hack your breakfast, hack what you buy from the student store and stuff like that.
Yes, don't microwave eggs. It's a good one. All right, and then John.
Oh yeah, so coming to Cal, I was really eager to sort of prove myself academically, and I was really ready. So I entered all my classes onto Google Calendar, and then it told me hey, you have a discussion 8 a.m. Again, I didn't know about the 8 a.m. thing, so I was 8 a.m. I wake up for school at 6:45. This should totally be fine. And on the first day it was, I woke up at 7 and ate breakfast and walked down to Evans, which is this giant ugly math building that's one of the most earthquake safe buildings, because they have all these barriers around it to keep it structurally intact. But then I lived at Foothill, so I went all the way down, and then it was 8 a.m. and then I went to my discussion room and there was no one there, and I get this email that was sent by my professor at 2 a.m. in the morning. So I don't know what he was up doing then, but he was saying, oh yeah, we're just not going to have discussion because we haven't had lecture yet. So there's really no need to discuss anything. I was like, dang, I really should have read my email in the morning, and I had to walk all the way back up. And that was the first day of my class at Berkeley. Yeah, and then I got a lot more careful into checking my emails because I was I don't want that to happen ever again. But yeah, that's my story.
Thanks. Yes. Again, another thing that has happened to me as well, like the rooms changing, like especially like before your finals or exams, sometimes they hold them in different rooms and then it's like a whole thing. So yes, read your emails. Good tip. For me, mine is like high level, learn how to cook and clean. So I think, I mean, understandably, a lot of people come into college not really knowing how to, cook and clean because the parents did it, and that's totally understandable. But one great thing about college is you get the opportunity to become an adult. And so, there's tons of tips online, Marie Kondo, Gordon Ramsay, YouTube, Tasty, just lots of tips to help you, and definitely want to get started on that early. So I was not like abysmally messy as a freshman, but there were a lot of things. I think my first time ever cooking was like my sophomore year when I moved into an apartment, and I put way too much soy sauce and it tasted like a salt lick. It was so bad. And I had roommates that were a lot messier than me. So our sophomore year apartment was just, ooh. And so I think cleaning is one of the things that causes the most tension with your roommates, whether it's in a dorm or when you move into an apartment later on. And it's just one of those things that like, once you get better at it, it's just so much better for everybody, and you're gonna feel great. Eventually you're gonna have to learn how to cook and clean because like you're gonna become an adult, and you're gonna have kids like way, way, way down the road. So just start early, and it can be kind of fun too. And like, yeah, I personally really like it when like my desk is all nice and clean, and then like I'm ready to study. It just really helps. So like while you guys are at home, actually definitely ask your parents like, hey, can I volunteer to cook? And they're gonna also love you. So like major brownie points before you go off to college. And they're gonna be like, oh, I miss my kid because they were so bad. So good. Like so helpful and cleaning. And so definitely get a head start on that while you can. That's my recommendation. So yes, so now that you guys have heard all these different things, we are going to make a bucket list together. So let's see, what's the best way to do this? Let's just kind of think about it a little bit, and then if you guys like want to type 1 to 3 things in the chat of like what you want to try when you guys come to Berkeley. So let's do that together actually, and then here are some recommendations if you're stuck, if you don't know what to put for your bucket list, or even if you have like a piece of paper just writing it down right now. So yeah, let's just do that for like the next 3 minutes. Now you can play some music. Go to every home basketball game. Okay, that's definitely a good, like all 4 years. Yes, Alex Newman was it. Okay. Yes, I think our basketball team is tends to be pretty good. Big Sea hike. One of mine was to go up the Campanile, which I never did actually. I've never been up the Campanile, so that will happen. Go hiking. Definitely. There's a lot of great hiking spots. Berkeley gets really, really nice. Definitely bring your mosquito bug spray though. I got bitten by a lot of mosquitoes when I went hiking. Great. Nice. Lost rooftop garden. Okay, cool. So yeah, you guys can keep thinking about that, and yeah, as you come on campus and see different things that you want to try, definitely try it out. There's a lot of time in 4 years to just try different things. And yeah, I definitely regret not going up the Campanile at least once. And then a fun fact about the Campanile is that there's like an organ thing. What is it? Bells? Like there's an organ thingy up there, and they're constantly playing music. Carillon. So you'll always hear it going ding dong ding. Sometimes they play like fun music and stuff. Yes, there is a job. There's a decal actually that you can take to learn how to play that thing. So yeah. Okay, so that is the end of like the formal presentation, but actually wanted to let you guys know that we are going to be doing a like virtual campus tour. So since you guys can't come, a lot of you guys aren't able to come, we wanted to show you campus if you would like. So obviously campus is huge. So this form will help you, like if you can sign up, and then like we'll give you more info on that, as well as there is one spot that you can highlight different spots that you would like us to show you. So one would be like if you're thinking about Haas, then Janet can show you Haas. Or if you're thinking about like Foothill for whatever reason, John can show you Foothill. So yeah, definitely we're going to be trying to do this either over Zoom or somehow we'll make it work. So yeah, I want to show you guys a beautiful campus and get you guys excited to come once you can. And so, yeah, feel free to sign up. So just an FYI that Recreate is the name of the group that the 4 of us are part of. So that's why it's called Recreate Virtual Campus Tour. Not that we're recreating some sort of campus tour. So that's our group's name, just so that you guys know. And then that is all that we have for
One thing.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Go for it.
Yeah, sorry. One last thing is that we're also hosting virtual dorm experience. So I know a lot of you guys aren't going to be able to come on campus this fall and not get to experience just the normal dorm experience that students are. So we're actually doing this thing called virtual Zoom dorms where if you sign up, you'll be put on a floor with other incoming freshmen, and RAs will be seniors at Berkeley who will volunteer to help with this program. So it'll probably be about 6 weeks where you'll kind of have a floor and do virtual Zoom activities with your floor, as well as hear different talks, seminars, and yeah, just really get to know other people, Cal students through this program. So if you're interested, you can just sign up on the tiny URL /Cal Zoom Dorms, and it'll be really exciting. And we're actually launching this and getting the word out starting tomorrow. So you guys have a sneak peek of the Zoom dorms.
Sorry, the link isn't working, so let me just pull it up right now. So you guys can fill it out if you want. Okay. Try this one. Okay. All right, yeah, so feel free to sign up for either the virtual campus tour or for the virtual dorms. So yeah, so that's what we have. And then do you think taking one freshman seminar and one decal is too much? Yeah, no, I definitely not. I think, yeah, feel free to take those classes. I think it's the text or like the core classes that are going to be tough. Definitely don't want to don't overload yourself with that because you will have a lot of time to take those later on. So hope you guys enjoyed that. It was really nice to meet all of you, Emily, Ritvik, Christine, Elena, Tanya, and yes, and Ellen. And we are going to be having our second session tomorrow for our Crushin It series. So tomorrow is going to be, I think, Crushin studying, right, Alex? Is it?
Basically, it's going to be kind of trying to come up with a real back to school shopping list, whereas people tell you to buy all sorts of things when maybe, yeah, you can trim that list down a little.
Yeah, so that's going to be tomorrow's, and then we're going to have it the same time at the same link. And yeah, if you guys want to come again, there's going to be more info that's also helpful, and you can keep, just typing your questions in the chat and we will answer them throughout. So yeah, it was really great to meet all of you guys. If there's any last questions.